I forgot to answer you in the video. So this is late, but I'm answering you because you wanted to talk about education and open the schools up now. So I'm going to open the schools up for you, okay? Because unlike yourself, I did study some of this in college because I was really, really interested in it. So I'm going to give you a short little education. And because I know you won't believe me because you think I'm uneducated, I'm going to have some backup going across the screen, okay? So you believe you believe that everyone on the African continent or in the African diaspora automatically looks alike because they share African ancestry in some way, shape, or form. That is false. Number one. The same way all Europeans don't look alike just because they share European ancestry. The same way as though all Asians don't look alike, though they share Asian ancestry. It's your perception that's making you so defensive. Okay? A pygmy does not look like a Maasai. That's something that's very obvious, and they're both out of Africa. Okay? That's something that's very obvious to anyone. Okay? But there are also differences within the African continent and on the African diaspora, which you could take two groups and they can identify each other properly most of the time. Whereas someone who is not accustomed or having lived around those groups may have difficulty identifying them properly, which is why some people call every Latino they see Mexican. Someone like me, most of the time, I can tell the difference. They are not all Mexican. But to many people, especially those on the African continent or from Europe, who does not live directly beside a neighborhood of them or a community of them or did not grow up with them in Latin America or something, they would have a time. Wait a minute, that person's Puerto Rican. Well, what's this person? Well, what's this person? What? Even white people have a problem. Wait a minute. What? Even everybody coming across the border is Mexican to some people in the White House. So, because you may not be able to understand perceptions of other people, it doesn't make their perceptions wrong either. Like someone in West Africa, having grown up around, let's say, Hausa, Igbo, and some others, right? They may be able to notice the subtle things, to be able to identify who is who. I would not be able to. So I'm not going to jump in a conversation and be like, you know what I'm saying? That's their thing because they grew up together. So they would be able to identify certain things where you might where someone I may say, well, y'all look alike to me. Y'all look alike to me. And to them they're like, no, we don't. Because they can recognize stuff that I can't recognize. Because I didn't grow up over there. Okay? Same thing with Black America. Black Americans can recognize a Black American. Okay? And many times I properly identify, no, you're not Black American. You're not Black American. Oh, you Puerto Rican, because Black Americans grew up with Puerto Ricans. You Puerto Rican, you Puerto Rican, you Puerto Rican. Black Americans grew up with Mexican people. You Mexican, Puerto Rican. But see, if you bring someone that's not within the group of people who grew up together, and then you tell them to try to figure it out, they might mess it up. They don't know. Just like you couldn't put me around Japanese, Korean, Chinese. Now, I grew up with Korean people, okay? So I'm pretty solid. I'm pretty solid on picking out Korean people. But if you put everybody together, I'm gonna mess up. They won't. More than likely, they won't because they know they can identify because they know the subtle differences. They know, but I'm gonna mess up. Just like if you line up different racially black people, a white person gonna mess up. A white person is gonna, and that's why when they categorize people, they tend to blend it all because they're gonna mess up. They don't know. To be quite honest, they don't know. The difference has to be vast. They don't know. It's just like people who may grow up in Europe. They may be able to look and say, "Oh, subtle differences between themselves," or, but I won't be able to tell. So, yeah, there's your education.